Imagine transforming your classroom into a space of critical thinking, lively discussions, and persuasive arguments. With this fun activity I'm going to walk you through, students will use critical thinking to decide the fate of 10 characters who have been stranded on an uninhabited island. So who's going to be immediately rescued and who will remain on the island for at least a few more months? Students will work in groups to decide who stays and who goes, justifying their choices in their writing. This is the perfect way to start a school year with your students. So let's begin. We've created an entire resource of this activity and it's available inside of our EB Teachers Club. So if you're an EB Teachers Club member, this resource is ready and waiting for you inside of your club. You can use one of your monthly coupon codes on it if you haven't already snatched it up. Just a little side note. Now, if you're not a part of the club yet, let's walk you through how you can create this activity on your own. So first you'll want to come up with 10 character bios. These will represent the 10 passengers from the plane who get stuck on this uninhabited island. So I want to give you a quick example of a character bio, and you can see it on the screen there in front of you. So Maya Patel is a highly respected architect who is on her way to a construction site visit for a large-scale sustainable housing project that she designed, and so on and so forth. And you can see everything that's included about Maya in this particular character bio on your screen right there. Now I want you to notice how there's enough details for students to debate why Maya should get to be on the first rescue plane or she should remain on the island for a little bit. So you can definitely utilize ChatGPT to help you come up with some of these bios. You might type something like, write a short character bio for, and then add like a female doctor or some other basic description. So then once you have 10 character bios ready, you'll make enough copies so that you can pass out a complete set to each group of about 3 to 4 students. Then you'll let your students know that each group has the important task of deciding which 5 of the 10 passengers will be immediately flown to the destination of Los Angeles, and then what 5 are going to remain on the island for what could be a couple of months as the mission is assembled to safely rescue them. So students will read through those character bios and they'll discuss, which people should go, which people should remain. And in this activity, you can draw students' attention to the following types of questions. You maybe even want to write them on your board. Do any of the passengers have training that would be valuable in case of medical emergencies on the island, such as an injury or an illness? Do they have previous experience in wilderness survival? Do they have strong leadership qualities that could help maintain order and organization on the island? Do they have cooperative personalities or skill sets that would help them work well with others? Do they have special skills or knowledge that would help in the group's long-term survival, like construction or hunting? Do they have certain athletic traits that would help in performing physically demanding tasks? Or do they have a personality trait that would, help keep people's spirits high, optimism good? Do they have a personality trait that could create difficulties for the group? Is there someone waiting for them in LA who requires their care or their help? Or is there another pressing need to return to LA quickly? So write all of those questions on the board for your students. And as each group discusses their reasoning for each character bio, they should write down a premise, a claim, evidence from the character bio, and justification as to whether or not a person should be rescued immediately or remain on the island for, a couple of months. So I want to give you an example of what writing might look like with all of those elements included. So as you can see on your screen here, you have the claim, and this is your student's position, that Violet Rose should be chosen as one of the 5 survivors. Well, her premise, and this is their reason for the position, is that Violet Rose should stay on the island because her skills as a botanist would be helpful in the group's survival. Well, now we need evidence, right? And so this is going to be a quote from the character bio that supports the premise listed above. And you can see the quote listed there on your screen. And then we'll have our justification. And this is the explanation of how your student's evidence supports their premise and their claim. So students should write at least one sentence that ties back to their premise and at least one sentence that ties back to their claim. And as you can see on your screen there, it shows you that Violet's skills could have helped her, help her show the survivors which plants are safe to eat. Also, she could possibly give advice on how to safely use plants to treat an injured or sick survivor, and so on and so forth. So here we have strong justification for why we've chosen Violet Rose as one of the people who should remain on the island as a survivor. And what you'll notice is that students are essentially writing a text-dependent paragraph, and yet because the topic is so engaging, there isn't going to be any groaning or rolling eyes at, another boring writing assignment. And in fact, this entire activity really is going to set the tone for your ELA class that you're going to be all about evidence and justification, not just in writing, but in your class discussions as well. So we really hope you give this highly engaging activity a try with your students this school year, whether you use it for a back to school activity or even later in the year when you need just a fun and quick 1 to 2 class period lesson that's still going to meet the standards for your students. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it with other middle school ELA teachers and be sure to hit subscribe where you're watching this video.